that would have been a good entry. This wick was like an obvious rejection area under the blueberry. Sometimes when it hits the blueberry like that, it'll lag. It didn't like hit it perfect and bounce off the W. But if it passes down and you still notice the candle formation is just showing a reversal, it's still okay to take it under. And the blueberry could have been a TP at that point, but I was looking for this to hold it. By the time it happened, I didn't see the charts. And also, what I was noticing is it finished 3 levels from the previous day when this happened down here. So up here, it's not like a perfect 1, 2, 3 right there, but that was the first level. That was our second, and that was our third when it first with the blueberry. After that, what you gotta look for is when you notice 3 levels, it's not an immediate takeoff. You're gonna look for a choppy pattern, and you're also gonna look for pretty much a head and shoulders pattern, which was kind of like this right here being the first shoulder, this being the head, and then that was the second shoulder, which was pretty much in the zone as this. And that's really what happened with that. The shoulders, the head, and the shoulders, and then what you're looking for is the neckline where basically the first 2 shoulders were kind of even and then it took off. That is a small one. But then there's also a bigger one where this was like a shoulder, this complete thing was a head, and that was our second shoulder. The only thing that was different with this, these weren't even, but the divergence showed that we had a divergence here on this shoulder where the RSI is way down here, but on the first shoulder is up here, but the candles are higher here. So that was showing the reversal on the sale. So it can take days, and this one it was an intraday W pattern where it did the first shoulder here, and then it had the head and the shoulder on the next day. And there's always gonna be a reason why it can sell, it can buy. So I'm looking for divergence to where it holds a high somewhere and sells again. And I'll be looking for the divergence for this either this day, we got Friday, or this Thursday. I'll be looking for a divergence on the charts with that, where we can get a point where the RSI can come back up here, but the candles don't, or the opposite. The candles go way up here somewhere close to it, and the RSI stays below this point. That's what I'm gonna be looking for if it's going to hold a sale. So right now, I'm still going to look for the sale based off of the moving averages, where we got the water crossing the Mayo from yesterday, which is showing our level 2 was confirmed and it still dropped that day. So I'm looking forward to hold this because this will be our safety trade where it holds the Mayo and then continues to tank after that. That's what I'm looking for today. So I'm gonna wait for this news to go off before I take anything. We got about 15 minutes for that. Tomorrow we got IS PMI tomorrow at 10 a.m. This is the first week of the month. So what we got? NFP this Friday. This gonna be a fun little week right here. I just don't want this to wick up first crazy and then drop. And at the same time, while this looks, whoo, yeah, this thing ranging. Because this right here, let me see, 1, 2. We could get a level 3 out of this. We got a clear W here. We got the first push in consolidation, and we got a second push is in consolidation right now. So we'll look to see what happens when it breaks out of this consolidation. I'm actually looking for it to shoot up and give a level 3 and then come tank somewhere. But I don't want to buy up to it. I believe it's going to be a fast move. We're going to see how this go though. If you in a buy already, that's cool, that's good. But I don't want to get in a buy right here and wait for a push up. I don't see. I had to check out. Yeah, I don't see no other. I don't want to buy against the blueberry on the 15. The TDI all look like sales. We could look for this to break out of here and give us the sell too when that candle opens on the TDI on the 15 minute. The 30 doing the same thing where the water across the Mayo. This is our first pullback to the Mayo. We got one hit and then it came up here and held it there too. So it can keep on tanking. We did get the green across down on the 30 minute. Another thing that I've been looking at this on a day chart with the TDI, this the green cross the yellow down, the market baseline. So if this is going to hold, it's pretty much safe to look for sales until this crosses back up for a long-term trend. So I'm looking for that to happen as well. I know we got a whole railroad right now, but this the day candle, so this could just be nothing but a pull back to the mustard and tank on back out. It would offer the water, but if it can come back down today and close below that water, we can look for a long-term sale. If it's going to hold the water, you would literally get a day candle that just shoots all the way back up right now at this time of the day with pretty much half the day left to go. I ain't never saying it can't happen, but that would be wild right about now. Second leg of the M or the W. So we look for M's or W's in the candlesticks. If you don't see them in the candlesticks, that is what the RSI is for, the green line and the TDI. We look for M's and W's. So every time you see the ketchup crossing the mustard, you should recognize an M or a W. Or I ain't want to complex that. I'm gonna stick with the second leg of the M or the W. So right here, this is a W. I don't know if you can see that. If you can't see that, let me know. Say it in the chat if you have to. But this would be our W. And so when the W happened, we had to catch up across the mustard right here on the second leg of the W. That's where we're always looking to enter at. Usually when it's the true second leg of an M or a W, there's no pullback. There's no drawdown. And it usually takes off right away. That's when you know you have the real second leg of the M or the W. Kind of like up here in this situation where there was an M right up in here. And I don't know why this thing, I feel like I need a bigger screen. But we got an M here and then it catch across the mustard. And when it was the real sale, the real M, because we're looking for sales with the M, buys with the W, it just took off. It tanked. It went straight into profit, no problem. And you see it. Ernest see it. McNeil, do you see it? You posed the question. Got you. Yeah. So that's what we're looking for. And then on your TDI, the green line is your money, your price. And so we should be able to see the M's here if we don't see it in here. So every time you would see like the ketchup crossing the mustard, you would notice a W. And with the TDI, you should see the green line cross the red line on your second leg of your W. So like here we got a W, and then even the scanner was with it and said buy. Right here we got a W here, and then the green crossed the red line going up. And using the TDI, they gave an alert for that. So the way the TDI works, because I know some of you have set it up on your MetaTrader as well. I use TradingView for my analysis, and we got 2 minutes to that 10-minute candle. The way the TDI works when you're looking at it, even on MetaTrader, is when everything's above the 50, and then the green crosses the red up, and the yellow line is on the bottom, the market baseline, the gold line, that's going to give you a buy every time that happens. These little arrows is covering my chart. I don't know if y'all see that or not. I don't know if y'all see the little arrows. Let me see. But to zoom in on that, every time it crosses up, it's going to give a buy. And then it does that for the sales. That's what these red dots are. When everything's below the 50 and the green crosses the red going down and the yellow is on top, it's going to give you a sell signal. Now this, I don't know if this yellow wasn't below, so I don't know. From my understanding, that needs to be below the 50 as well. But they're just giving out trades like that. I don't think it usually work like that. But that's how I use the TDI. That's when I'm taking my buys and sells. It helps me see the M's and W's better because I'm not taking every single W that crosses. All right, we at 10 o'clock. Because it did hit the hour blueberry, I normally honestly would look for it to keep rising for 2, 3 days. Um, I don't know why this ain't loading, but I believe I wanna hold this buy. If this candle closed decently, there you go. I will put my stop below this right here. Below the zone, it'll be below the water and the mayo. I'm not sure if that's a cross down, so I don't think that's gonna say buy on the scanner. But I'll take 2 attempts at this. Now, if it closes, what we got? Three, about 4 minutes on this counter. A closes above the blueberry on the 15, and then it doesn't look like any reversal or wicking going on, and it continues, it could bounce off of it and continue to shoot up. That can be held. We can shoot for the 100% on the day. Let me double to make sure that's the day. Cause they real, yeah, that's the day. See, I would have took this buy if I had caught this, but I didn't catch any of this. And it still could give 3 levels up. Clean W off the 1 hour blueberry. I would have loved to have took that buy. Trade lock. This thing look like it want to buy and I want to fire off. I want to see this candle close. It look like a good candle. Like it want to keep pushing up. And what I'll be looking for is one more level with this W here off the blueberry. We got 1, 2. This was clear consolidation, and it would break out of here and keep on pushing up. But this consolidation zone is just real tight, and they look like railroads back to back. That's why I'm not trying to force no trade right now. All this little thought process right here is part of what you honestly need to know. Don't push it just because if it's not a clear reason. Because even on the hour, until the hour had crossed down, now it's looking like it's crossing back up. So even that is switching. If I don't see nothing at all, I just ain't even gonna mess with it. I'm leaning towards it holding that 1 hour blueberry from earlier in the day and giving off 3 levels off of that. 3 levels for today itself, and 3 levels as in 3 different days. And it can hold this and keep rising up. Hold this can hold this and rise up for the rest of the week. Honestly, to come and retest this, it's all about, is it going to hold this high because this is the all-time high, or is it going to break it and keep on going? That's really the game right now. This is like the first time it's really pulled back in the last few weeks, and that could just be a reset off the blueberry. The hour blueberry is a very good indicator for me. Usually, it's good to always take trades off of it. Another way you could have took trade. Well, really, this was it. The ketchup crossing the mustard is your final confirmation. So when it came and hit this blueberry, your you could have waited until this cross. This right here was bad. You took that, you would have dealt with a little bit of pullback. But if you wait on that second leg, always count on that second part of that W, which was basically this. This was a clear first little leg of a W. The second came in, you don't know how high or low it's going to go. But when the ketchup crossed the mustard back up, that's your safest space for your entry. Because shooting off down here, you don't know if it was going to retest it all the way or even come and break that first leg and shoot back up. So after this crossed, your entry would have been in here if you waited for the candle to close at worst, and then you would have caught this up. Even though this consolidation, this is still a good amount of pips. You pretty much at the 25 up to the and past the 50, almost at the 75. So even that was, let me measure that. I believe that's 1,000 pips because it's counting 110 to 220. So pip wise, even up to the 50. Yeah, it still would have been 1,000. That's a whole lot. You'd have used the 0.1 lot size, you would have got $1,000 just off of that. So that's a whole lot of movement. And I see where I first said this junk like trading NAS now. Let's go moves a whole lot more than it did a couple of years ago. I'm on what we got. Okay, new candle, new 15-minute candle. Yeah, I didn't think that crossed down, so that scanner's not going to give off that buy. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this buy. I'm gonna do a tight stop below this consolidation zone. We're gonna wait for it to break out that way. So I'm just put it on the 50% line, which is 48.80. So I go in here, hit my buy, um, stop loss. Set that at 48.80. I had to wait for that 9:30, 10 o'clock count to come. To me, that always give me more confirmation. Gonna be 5 units. And use a small lot. It's right here. It's because it's very tight ranging in the zone. But I'm looking for it to give off a level 3 off of the buy from the 1 hour chart. That's what I'm looking for. The 1 hour look like a buy. It'll be off the blueberry. And this is gonna come all the way back down to the blueberry, make a whole new low today and tank it out. And take that out. That's the only other option. There's a W. So there's a level, and then what separates the levels is the pullbacks or the consolidation. So with this here, there's a W, and then there's a pullback. So after it breaks, that first level confirms the second level, which is what it did here. So we got a level 1 pullback, a level 2 is consolidation. I'm looking for a level 3. Right now it's pulling back like it ain't gonna give me no level 3. It's still in the consolidation zone. So it's gonna have to break out of one of these. If it breaks out high, that'll be my confirmation for the level 3 and look for that to finish. And then I was gonna look for the sell afterwards. It could not give me 3 levels. Sometimes that happens. And then it uh reverses the opposite way. And another thing though is that the levels happen on all time frames. So on a higher time frame chart, with this sale that was given off, like we got a whole level one here, pullback level two. At the same time, this could be like the first level. So that's level one, and it pulled back, came and dropped and gave a level two, and that pulled back, came and gave a level three, did a railroad on the 4 hour chart, and then reversed. So another thing, I didn't go over this on the 4 hour chart, was that this railroad here was our first leg of our W on the 1 hour chart. And that could show the reversal. It's basically holding the Mayo on the 4 hour. And a confirmation for the 4 hour would be if the catch up crossed the mustard here, because right now this cross isn't confirmed until this 4 hour candle closes above this. This will be a confirmed cross when that happens. And then that will show that it can keep going to the upside. And so we would have a W here. We do got, this is almost like a morning star on the 4 hour chart as well. And then it's only done one level on the 4 hour chart. This is consolidating right now. So if it came and break this, we'll be looking for a level two on the 4 hour chart. But on the 1 hour chart, it's already done a level two. I'm looking for it to break it. It depends on the time frame you're looking at, because I like to look for the higher time frames to get my overall direction. See, to me, it's too choppy on the 15 minutes to determine all that. It could just be holding a blue bear on the 15-minute chart. But I like to base it off the 1 hour at least and work my way around that with my direction. So I'm looking for another rise. Right now, I'm going against the level two for the drop, which was confirmed yesterday. Or is it going to hold this blueberry and give me 2 to 3 days of rise? I always look for something that I can hold for at least 2 days. If I got the trade I want and it don't come back to take me out with like a stop loss and profit or anything like that, because if we go to any kind of profit, I'm going to take a partial. After that, I'm looking for this to hold to where it's not coming back down here, at least for 2, 3 days, to get a real W off of that and keep going. Because I'm looking for a big W. Just how this was a bigger M. It did this M, and if you caught the peak of this, you could have held this for 2 to 3 days like it did. Depending on where your entry, that could have been considered one day. And if you got this entry anywhere up in here, that was one whole day of drop. And then when the third day came in, you could have got another drop. And then once it started to reverse, got out of there somewhere. Or when the ketchup crossed the mustard, could have got out if you was in the sale up here. So while I'm at that as well, another thing that I look for, another rule when holding trades is that when the ketchup crosses the mustard on the second leg of the M, you can hold it until it gets out on the second leg of the W, and vice versa for the W. I'm in that buy, so I'm holding that buy. So I'll look for an obvious like W. This one look kind of, there's a lot of them, but one like this was a good one. Let me zoom in on it. I'm trying to show the 3 days though. I can always scroll to it. But that's what I'm gonna, since I found my entry is gonna hit it or not. So I'll go over like the ketchup crossing the mustard, the water, the basic stuff that for everybody that's new, don't know. So of course the whole base part of the strategy is the ketchup crossing the mustard. The water is on the bottom for buys. The water is like your trend line. Your mayo is your long-term trend line, and blueberry is a reversal. Now, they all do the same thing. They're all moving averages. The different periods is just the strength of it. It represents like the average of candles in a day or on that time frame. As you go to higher time frames, you're going to see that they all do the same thing. Your mayo and your water crossing on the 1 minute chart is the ketchup crossing the mustard on the 15-minute chart. So they're all in correlation and pretty much do the same thing. So what we're looking for is that depending on what time frame you're trading on, you're looking for your water to give you the overall direction. And when the ketchup crosses the mustard going up and the water's on the bottom, that's what's going to make the scanner give off the buy signals. So right here, it don't look like a super like obvious W, but this was our W here. And if you don't see it in the candlesticks, you can always look in your RSI to see if you see the W. You'll be noticing the green crossing the red for your W. Now, when this buy came, and let's say you took this trade, if you got in on the second leg of that W, you could have held it until the ketchup and the mustard crossed back down on an M in the opposite direction. And if you're only trading with the trend, and every time you take a buy and the ketchup across the mustard going up, I'm not saying hold it until that time, or I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is in between that time, you should have a trade goal. You should be recognized on the three levels. You should have a PIP goal and taking money along the way or getting out somewhere, whatever the case is. And by the time the ketchup crosses the mustard the opposite way, that can be another place for you to take a partial or just get out the trade completely. That depends on what type of trader you are. For everyone I know, I've sent that test, whether it says you're a day trader, a scalper, a swing trader, a position trader, whatever type of trader you are. That just lets me know how long you'll hold your trades. And it's not 100%. I seen somebody take a test and it was a day trader and they scalping. So it's something that you can build up. If you want to be a day trader, you got to know where you're at with that. What's the I keep telling you that, Luna. You can get in and get right back out right away. You're only taking out the trade. You're not taking out the trade based off of time. You're taking out the trade either by your stop loss, your take profit, or you manually go in there and close the trade. You can open the trade and close it as soon as you open it if that's what you want to do. So yeah, you get out when you want to get out. If you enter in with enough capital with lot size in this case, as long as it's bigger than a penny, you can take half of the money out and still be in the trade. So if you enter in with $1, you can take 20 cents out of that lot size and still be in with the 80 cent. You could take whatever you want to take. You could take 60 cent out of it, however you want to do it. You could take it all at once and be done with the trade. You could take 1 penny out of that and still be in with 90 cent left of that dollar lot size and hold your trade for as long as you want to hold it. You could be in, there's position traders, they're in the same exact trade for years. There's some people, and that's what like the big banks do, or the big millionaire traders, or billionaire traders even. Um, because that's just the way they trade. They could be looking at a monthly chart. I like to go up to the daily chart, but I mean, you can go to monthly, weekly charts and look for the same thing. One thing about these charts, this day chart looks just like a minute chart. The strategy is the same. It came here and hit the blueberry on the day chart, hit you across the mustard up right here. You could have got into this buy and been holding this all the way up to here. And if I was to measure this and look at this is going to tell me that's 394 days. If you somebody that trade like that and you holding your trades that long, you can't. There's, I'm sure there's billionaire traders that been in trades longer than that. Let me see. One thing I want to watch for to see if this thing turn around. Because with this too, See, this is like they might want to sell still, and it's still consolidating. So I don't want to be too hasty about it. I'm gonna hold this and see it's gonna have because if it comes down here and if it's going to sell and it breaks below this, it should keep taking because it's broke this zone, basically. This ain't nothing but a trap zone right here. This look like this do want to sell, which was my original bias. But I still don't want to get out just yet. Because even like we got this candle right here doing that, it came right here and just went right back up after. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that alone. If it hits my stop, the alert will go off. But the whole basis of the strategy is simple. That's really it. Water on the bottom, ketchup across the mustard going up, you get in the buy. Water on top, ketchup across the mustard going down, you get into a sell. What I look forward to do is to teach the structure of the market so that you understand what's going on, so that you just don't take every single buy or sell you see just because the water was on top and the ketchup across the mustard. There's still things like market structure. There's the five phases that I look at. There's the reversal patterns with the candlestick Bible, um, different candlestick patterns like the railroads here, shift candles, which is bit long, like engulfing candles, and those usually make the catch across the mustard, or they're straightaway candles. They make a shift in the market in the trend. You might get something like this, catch across the mustard going up, the water was on top, but then it broke above the water and then it kept going away after that. So there's a lot of different uh pieces to it. If I was to start this blank and actually show y'all something, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this today while we on here. Cause it's been an hour. Let's see how long we can go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just uh take off all the indicators and we can just look at it just like this. And I can keep that. If I was to teach you everything I do, this is the first thing I'm gonna do is look at a naked chart. The only thing we need is the period separators. With that, we're able to see where the day ends, begins, and that's how we're also able to count the levels and also keep up with the pattern of the five phases. And so no matter what indicators I got on my chart, I'm always candlesticks first. I look at what the candlesticks do. Indicators just help point out spots or reversals, TPs, and entry to get in along with the confirmation of the candles. If I don't recognize what these candles are doing just like this, then I don't do anything. I have to still see what the candles are doing. They got to make sense to me. So we got an M up here. This would be my shift candle, big engulfing candle. What it did was a three vector up. It wasn't clean, but that was our three vector up. And when we notice an M, our next entry is an A. So we have an M right here, and then we have an A. Those are going to be our next points of entries after a clear big M. The M should usually be something that took all day to form or be an intraday formation, which means it took more than one day, usually a day and a half, 2 whole days, where you'll see a high at one point and come to retest that high and then form the M. Once the M is formed, because one thing I've changed is that I don't shoot for the peaks no more. I do like my confirmation because I don't mind missing like a day of this to catch the next day that's going to finish off that M. So once I notice an M, I'm looking for three levels. And basically that means three long rides and then pullbacks or consolidation in between to separate those. That happens on the 15-minute up to the hour chart every day. And then the 4 hour chart is for your week. And then as you get to the daily and weekly charts, it plays out on the months and the weeks. You can get a whole month of consolidation, and then the rest is just trending for months. So the 5 phases, to me, that's what I look for in my candlesticks with the naked chart. We got consolidation, and I've been sending this in, so I'm going to send in another one. I'm glad, like, I got new people I want to show this to, because I'll be wanting the homework. I would actually like to do stuff like this if everybody wanted to participate in it. So this right here, level one, let me see. I'm gonna start. Let me draw on this thing. And Luna, I am gonna beg you to take notes, please. Everything you ask me, write that down somewhere. I use an app called Penzu. It looked like a little diary, little journal. I log in with my email. Every time I get a new phone, I download the app. It saves everything. I don't pay for the thing to have different topics. I put everything just in one journal. You can have as many different separate pages as you want. It's unlimited. Put this stuff in your notes. Because one thing about me, you're going to have to learn to pay attention to detail. That's for everybody. You have to pay attention to detail. And I love doing this and showing people this, but I also pay attention to how people are listening to me. And I know what you're going to do just based off of the simple stuff. So it's all repetition. It's the same information. It's just going to click different. All I do is say the same thing different ways, just come, and then it clicks different. It clicked different for me learning it. I got the same thing 100 times, and then one day it just was, oh, that was said different, and now I see it. So the strategy is honestly pretty simple. There's levels, there's reversal candles, um, there's the indicators. I use the TDI, and then there's 5 phases. That's really pretty much it. You learn how to do that on as many time frames as possible. You might got a time frame that just works for you, depending on what kind of trader you are. Since I like to day trade position, I'm not day trading swing. I go to higher time frames. But if you a day trader and you might need to stay no higher than the hour chart. There's some people using a 1 minute all the time, 5 minute, and that's their time frame. They like to get in, get out. That's cool if that's what you're looking for. You have to learn that about yourself. But the strategy is the same. It works on everything we can trade and every time frame it works. It's the same thing. All you recognizing is the patterns. Um, Knowing when to trade, when to push a button, when not to push a button. If it don't got your name on it, don't take it. If you don't see a reason to get in it, the hardest part about trading is probably learning when not to and don't push no button. That is a part of trading as well. If it don't make sense, just don't do it. Come up with your schedule, what time of the day you're going to trade, and learn how to trade that time of the day. What will help you learn how to do that is the 5 phases. So I'm gonna go over that. Some people might not trade this time of the morning. They're just on here because I'm on here. The best time of the day for you might be 3 in the morning, or it might be 10 at night, or whatever it is. So I will say anytime after noon, 1 o'clock Eastern, leave it alone. I don't care where you at. That ain't nothing but the slowest time of the day. You'll be looking for the end of the day reversal, which is the fifth phase of the 5 phases. But it is also the smallest amount of moves. Asian session is better to trade than the end of the day, which is the Sydney session. We don't even talk about it. The Australian session. That's what that is at the end of the day. Nobody trades that. So consolidation, phase one. Let me draw. I'm gonna go ahead and draw this thing because yeah, we're gonna take it to kindergarten. Say the app again. What app again? What app? Which app? What you talking about? App for what? I don't know what app I said. Oh, Penzu. Yeah, that's what I use. Penzu. All my notes is in there. Strategies for everything I do. I used to text myself. I was one of them people. I came across that app. Um, I'm not good with drawing on this thing. Ain't gonna lie to y'all, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use the text. That's what we're gonna do. Let me see if I can text this out. One. All right, this might work cool. Consolidation. Let me see if it'll. I'd rather it drop down. Yeah, there we go. Two. Stop hunt. Let's get into it. I might have some fun with this. Three. I'm gonna call it the sniper entry. Matter of fact, we're just gonna call it ketchup and mustard cross. Ketchup. We're gonna abbreviate it. Mustard cross. Bam. Four. Continuation. This isn't always perfect looking. It's the pullbacks. It's best when it pulls what you call it pulls back to the mustard. Oh, nah. Okay, I had to click my chart. Continuation. Uh, I should just maybe I should say pullback. We're gonna keep it easy. Keep this as ABC as possible. Five reversal. That's it. Oh, there we go. All right there. No, don't do that. I'm trying to move it around. I guess I wasn't supposed to start it right there. See, I don't know how to do stuff like that. It's stuck. Now I'll be trying to take this off my chart forever. Somebody give me a trade and view basics class. I did not want that to cover that. Yeah, I can't click on this at all. How do I access this? Hit that? No, it definitely ain't no draw. Oh, there we go. Fair kind of matter. When there's a will, there's a way. What's this Tuesday, Monday, Friday? And always chart. I'm done with that. Get off of that. Tuesday. Did I do that with the? Yeah, I did that with Zoom. Cool. I'm not actually putting this on my chart. I'm not gonna. I could do that if I wanted a little neat. We're gonna do a Monday. doing this thing. On I do still gotta double check with some of y'all to make sure y'all can access the course. I will hope that helps out a whole lot. Yeah, I didn't think I needed to chop that block down. Good enough. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This ain't gonna play perfect every single time. But what we're looking for is Monday did perfect. Consolidation. That was the consolidation for the week. First phase, Monday, consolidation. Tuesday, stop hunt. Stop hunt. What was the stop hunt? What it did was consolidate again and it rose a little bit. Uh this didn't play out perfect, so which is actually good because it's better to show it with flaws than perfectly. Wednesday, there was a smart. Ooh, I ain't gonna lie to you. This played out both ways. So we got Monday. We do got Monday. Excuse me. Tuesday, there's not a clear stop punt, but it was gonna be these little dips. There's no. The stop punt is the fake move, which is basically the opposite move. If it's going to buy, then that is going to drop first and then buy. If it's going to sell, it's going to rise first and then sell. Start calling y'all out. Put that in your notes. So consolidation, left to right. Y'all know what consolidation is. Even the new people I know what consolidation is. Stop hunt. That is going to be your false move. There was no real clear stop hunt. It would have been it rose for the week, but there was like no false move down. So we don't even there's no clear spot for that. Continuation or the pullback would have been this day where it continued the move and did small little pullbacks, but continued to do an uptrend. Our reversal would have been here. It rose all week and reversed on Thursday. And then Friday it reversed. Continued the reversal, made a whole new low of the week. Came and took the whole new low of the week out. The way you could have traded this if it wasn't clear for you was the reversal. If you didn't recognize the stop punt because there was no clear stop punt, and this is just a naked chart, because with the indicators, it would clearly show the ketchup crossing the mustard where the water was and how you could have took your trend. But on the naked chart, I don't see a clear stop punt. It would have been a continuation off the mustard. If you can't tell that, it's the pullbacks. Once you recognize the trend, the pullbacks is the red candles, and then it continued to shoot its way up. So if you don't see any of that, any pull like clear pullbacks or stop punts, we can recognize that this is an uptrend. The reversal can happen any day of the week, it depends on where you at in the phase. The reason why this might be off is because the previous week might have been a clear consolidation, stop punt, catch up, and must have crossed, pull back, and then reversal. We slowly going into profit on this buy to. I hope this thing just keeps shooting up. Um, and then we got the reversal for the end of the week. This also happens every day. Let me get off of that. The five phases also happen every day. Oh, there we go. That was the zone thing. All right, cool is good enough for me. Oh, yeah, that is going to move. So that's what we're looking for on the week with the 5 phases. Once you recognize what part of the phase you in, you can take your trades. If you don't recognize it, just don't trade it. Don't force it. You can always trade with the trend, which is wherever your water is. If your water's on the bottom of the candlesticks, look for your buys. If it's on the top of the candlesticks, look for your sales. Even if you trade on the 1 minute, 5 minute chart, you're a scalper. Go to the hour chart and the 4 hour chart to get the overall direction, even if you don't trade the 1 hour chart. So if you go down to the 1 hour and you notice the water's on the bottom and you still trade on the minute, your buys are going to be your stronger moves, your bigger pushes. So you would still be looking for buys, and you're still going to use your water on the bottom of the candles on the 1 minute chart and still look for your buys. That's a tip for you for people that scout. So I'm gonna see how this look when it changes to the 15 minute. Okay, I'm just gonna have to find it myself. Let me see if I can align this. That's right. No, it ain't gonna do it right. All right, I ain't gonna worry about that. I'm still just gonna show it the best way I can possible. So Monday was clear consolidation. This is Monday. Let me see if I can get rid of that. I don't want to get rid of both of them. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find another Monday. I'm gonna stick to that for now. I'm gonna find another Monday through Friday and keep showing this. Then I'll go down to the 15 minute chart. That's a Friday, so this is Monday. That's a bad week because it ain't nothing but straight consolidation. Yeah, that was straight consolidated that week. And that was the week I just was this the one I just shown? I don't think so. Not at this the next Monday yet. That Monday. It's Tuesday. This one didn't. And I'm not looking for perfect. Because that's how it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to look perfect. Monday, another consolidation. Straight consolidation. Tuesday, we're looking for the false move down. At the beginning of the day, it dropped down. So this is how it works. And I know I said this, but if we're looking for buys, it's going to drop first. If we're looking for sales, it's going to rise first. That's usually going to happen in your Asian session. So if we're looking for buys this week, Asian session is the beginning of the session, the beginning of your period separators. That's from, what is that, 6 p.m. till 3 a.m. London session comes in at 3, anywhere between that time. So we got our little short false move down, and then we got our rise up. So now we know we're buying. Wednesday came in, and this is crazy because Wednesday did a reversal. So Wednesday all the way off. Now Wednesday, there's usually a midweek reversal. So that's something else that we look for. I was laughing because that midweek reversal completely would have threw off these 5 phases. So it was a consolidation stop punt. It was a continuation, but it was only in Tuesday. Wednesday came in and did the midweek reversal. The key about the midweek reversal is that it's New York session most of the time. So we could have got a consolidation here. We could have got our small stop punt down. We could have got our rise with our entry. And that's our rise for our entry for the buy. We got our pullbacks, and then they kept buying. And then after these pullbacks, they didn't take out these highs. Our reversal came in for, let me see what time. Yeah, that was New York session. Our mid reversal came in. And after they reversed, Thursday came in and continued to rise up. So it was still going with the buy. My bet is that I already know the water was still on the bottom of these candlesticks, and we were still just looking for buys. Now we're in profit. Cool. Um, Key to this as a newbie, do not trade against the trend. Just keep trading wherever the water's at. Master that first. If you master that, I guarantee you you'll be all right. Because that was my biggest mistake for the first few years is catching reversals, mid reversals, and no matter where the water was, I didn't care. We wouldn't even do it. We called it the catch up and mustard and wasn't even following the dang stretch. We was excited about the mayo and the blueberry. But yeah, yeah, for real. You trade with the trend and you'll be all right. So there was a mid we reversed it Wednesday. Thursday came in, we had our pullbacks and they continued to shoot up with the trend. Friday came in and they continued to shoot up. After the pullbacks, it continued to rise up. So this is another week. It just don't look clear. The Monday was the clear consolidation, and then the stop punt low was small, and after that, it just continued to rise up. Yeah, I like the yeah, y'all keep going in the comments. Hey, first put some fires in the chat. I'm done with the call. Because he see that shit. If he see it if I did that. But let me see. I'm gonna look for another Monday, man. I'm gonna do one more like this, and then I'm gonna add the indicators back and show the same thing again. So where I'm at, because I'm going back. This is January 6th, Tuesday. That one wasn't clear because the whole week was consolidation. Let me show this one. That's a Friday. This the Monday. Let me show this Monday. And this Monday actually looked kind of good. Uh, Monday. Woo! Monday creaky. This week look crazy right here. Let me see. I don't think I got it big enough so all of these fit in here. Monday, blah, 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 blah. Let me see if I can get it like, yeah, because I got my thing ain't completely lined up, but unless it's close enough right there. Um, Monday looked like stop punt. Monday came in just straight drop. What I'm gonna look for since that happened, since it's Monday, is look to see if Friday consolidated. Bam, Friday consolidated. So that's when it's showing me that it's off. This is Friday. Friday went straight across. So we're gonna come in Monday expecting this to be the stop punt. That was a good, nice little drop, but that was our false move down. I don't even want to say if you caught that, you caught that. That's a good little drop right there. But since this is the beginning of the week and it dropped like that after Friday consolidated, and I got to do the week before this because if Friday consolidated, it probably played out perfectly with the rest of the days. But because that would be the best. That would be the best way. That and if that lets me know we're gonna look for these buys. Monday right here, we got our low of the week right here. Here's Monday. Bam. Tuesday consolidated. Actually, it rolls up. So if you caught this stop punt and you looked for buys after this, you could have caught this rise up somewhere. It came back down, almost close to the entry, came and did another stop punt. This is Wednesday. So honestly, this could be your midweek reversal. Man, it's crazy how this is playing out to me. Because we look at this stuff all the time, and this is like, man, this is wild. Let me see, let me make these bigger. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna make that look better. That's what I'm. There we go. Should have did that a long time ago. No, I didn't mean to do that. Monday, stop punt. Rise Tuesday. This would be our continuation, but it's choppy. We got a railroad around London. I would look for a buy. It didn't go off nowhere. This is another day consolidation. The day opened here and closed here. It probably just did a doji on your day chart. Thursday came in and gave off the move. Bam. So I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This is a W right here, man. This could be your first leg. This could be your second leg. Or this could be your shoulder, head, shoulder. This right here and this right here is your shoulder. That's the second leg, the real true second leg of the W. I can guarantee you to catch up in the month that don't cross right here somewhere. So that happens. Now we know which way we're going. We're going for the buy. What we're looking for since Monday started as a shoot down is for price to come back up here if it's going to continue to buy. It happened in the later weeks, but this is how this week played out, where it was like a sell down, came back in. The water was probably on top on here, but the ketchup and mustard definitely had to cross right here somewhere. I'm gonna show that because that's gonna be fun to look at for me. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm guessing somewhere the water was held and shot down, and this was a midweek reversal on Wednesday. Ketchup cross the mustard shot up, came back down for the end of the day, held that, and then continued to buy up. Friday was a buy. I'm curious. Yeah, we all know that gold continued to buy up after that. But I gotta show the indicators on this week because that look interesting to me. You will have to recognize this. Once you recognize this like this, yeah, exactly. Catch across the mustard right here on Wednesday. And then you apply the indicators to it, then you can kind of see better what's going on. So yeah, we had the water on top. We was trading with the sell with the downtrend. Midweek reversal came in Wednesday and the catch up across the mustard at the end of the day, beginning of Thursday. Yeah. I want to know if y'all who've been trading see that. Because that right there made it look better for me. Um, and sometimes I visually do it, but I always look at the candlesticks first and ignore these moving averages so I can see what's really going on. This was our clear shoulder right here, head and a shoulder right here. This is an inverted head and shoulders because it was for a buy. And while I'm on this, I got to do it in a moment because I'm showing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's your like macro check down on how we looking at the 5 phases for the week. They also happen in a day. And in a day, I know other people probably see this already. This is a consolidation. Let me just get off of it. Our consolidation, our false moves up. We got the catch up crossing the mustard here, wasn't, and this was the open of the day. So that's really like the entry right there. And I did show that the previous day, this Friday, was consolidation. So when we remember that consolidation right here, these little wicks up was the stop hunt. Catch across the mustard going down, continuation pullback off the mustard, end of the day reversal. That's how that played out. That looked too perfect right there for the daily 5 phases. So I'm gonna get into that after this. I'm gonna show one more week. Yeah, I'm gonna take these back off. I'm gonna find another Monday again. That's Friday, Monday. I'm gonna make sure I drop this because I know probably like I need this again. Monday, we got another Monday that's just shooting up. If you ever see the Monday shooting up, I can always assume that the day before that was consolidation. Friday was consolidation again. Consolidation. Monday came in. Catch across the mustard, shoot up. Pullbacks, continuation, kept shooting up. Tuesday, usually Tuesday is going to do what Monday did. It looked crazy, but the point is it did a buy. Monday did a buy, so Tuesday should do a buy. Wednesday came in. it was pretty much consolidation, and there was still continuations. Every time there was a dip, you could buy right back up. So every time it pulled back, buy right back up. Friday came in and did the reversal to end it. This one was probably the cleanest one out on shown. It was getting choppy for a level three because it dropped after that. This was real choppy. And on a day-to-day basis, every day, every time you notice a dip, you can buy up because the buys were still the overall moves. And let me see what this look like this. Yeah, got our water on the bottom. It was a buy. The ketchup and the mustard had crossed on that Friday on consolidation. That's why on Monday it just came in and just took off. I still got that off. Oh, good. One Tuesday, one Thursday. Yeah, Thursday came in and the ketchup crossed the mustard on Thursday, really the beginning of Friday. And then that signaled our reversal. All right. Now I'm gonna show this on the 15-minute chart. Where we at? I can't see my candlesticks. We hope this thing finally break this and shoot up out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chat. I think this bot is gonna go. I forgot I didn't even do that. Took off too much. So I'm gonna show this on the 15, and then I'll stop at that. So I'll overdo that. All right, all right. 15-minute chart, same thing. Consolidation, stop punt, catch up, muster cross, pull back, reversal. This also happens every day. This is what right here is what you would need to recognize where you're at and be a day trader. I want to go back to these days we was looking at this NEO. Let me see. Let me find a Monday. Monday right here, cool. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Make that a little bigger off the Mayo. Let me cross that Mayo. I had to wait for that 15-minute candle to close because that would have been a TP. Honestly, you can use that as a TP. I don't know how early everybody's entry is. You could put your I gotta look at mine first
Boy,
because
gold just took off.
it's been I'm finna I'm doing challenge the FT mode. That's gonna be fast when this hit. Yeah, that's what's up. Especially when it close above the Mayo on the hour, the 15-minute blueberry. That's gonna confirm it. Yeah, that's what's up, man. This should be the level 3 for the buy on the hour. So I mean, let me show the day. We had the day with it. The day it don't look that clear though, cause it just rolled straight out of Asian session. Let me see what can I show for the day. Let me see if there's a way to. See, why that's a little crazy today, cause it's if I was to show this for this week, because the 4 hour chart is another time frame to look on, the 1 hour and the 4 hour to look at it Monday through Friday. We in early. What we got in on Monday is a small stop punt low. The railroad here showed the buy. This is yesterday, and it consolidating. And if this was the false move down on Monday for the beginning of the week, we are looking for the catch up across the mustard, what it just did on a 4 hour chart. That was at 10 o'clock when that candle started, which is an hour ago. So it confirmed the catch up crossing the mustard on a 4 hour chart. And so what we should be getting is for it to rise today, tomorrow. We'll see if it'll pull back to the mustard on a 4 hour chart and keep rising, and then see if it'll reverse or just at the end of the week. That's a good sign because really this is what I mean, y'all, but by the water, mayo, blueberry, they all do the same thing. We're looking for the basis is for the water to be on the bottom, the ketchup across the mustard, and that gets us into this buy. But what's happening right now is that you can use the water, I mean the mayo and the blueberry the same way. And so we got the mayo in replace of the water, and then the ketchup across the mustard going up with the mayo on the bottom to push the candles up. You can use that same way. Same thing with the 1 hour chart. That's what I was saying was good for the blueberry. I just didn't catch this entry. We got the blueberry down here, and all the candles are above the blueberry, and the ketchup across the mustard going up. So we have the blueberry pushing the candles up. The water, mayo, and blueberry all do the same thing. It's just the water is a 50 EMA, the mayo is a 200, the blueberry is an 800. All that means is it has more strength. Their purpose is the same because they're all EMAs. And so when they get close and bunched up like this, you have to decide which one is the candles going to respect, basically. They was above, the water was above, and it was selling. So if you notice here for everybody, asking me, what are they? What do they do? What's their purpose? We had our water on top, and what they did was it came and hit the mayo. That's a TP, that's a target. And then it came and hit the blueberry, and that's a target. But once it hit it, it rejected it, but then it came to get right back on top of it and basically respected the blueberry. And so now the water became a target here, and now we're at the mayo where that's a target based off of it holding a blueberry. Now, as long as it holds this mayo and it closes above, we'll have the blueberry water and the mayo all on the same side, and they all will be basically working together, serving the same purpose to push the candles up. Because now everything is going to be on the bottom of the candles, pushing it up. The same way it's been when they were all on the bottom, pushing the candles up. If we go find a spot where they were close together, there's probably even a spot better than that. Like this. Something like this could be happening all over again. We had the set, and it looks the same as that way, just about. We had that sale Friday, came and hit the mayo, and then came down and hit the blueberry, and then the ketchup crossed the mustard right here under the blueberry, and they pushed up, hit the water, hit the mayo, just like it's doing now. And then it came in, it got choppy, but eventually they all worked together and pushed it up. And then they started to spread out, and they kept pushing it up. That's how that works. And so essentially, I'm looking for the same exact thing to happen right here. I hope all the new people see that, what I just explained. Somebody say something in the chart. Like my homeboy say, anybody but a dead body. Matt Neal got it. Yeah, okay. Luna got it. Cool. Exactly. Um, that's the purpose of the moving averages. And I just use that along with the five phases. So I'm gonna go over that. I'm gonna go over that a little bit because that's what would have got you through all of this. I think it was it this part? Yeah, it was this part. I just recognize it. Yeah, November. What would have got you through all of this was recognizing the five phases on a day-to-day basis. So we have consolidation here. And I like the hour, but it's better to see this. I probably should go down to it on the 15-minute chart, but we're not even going to look at, a matter of fact, I'm going to take them off because we already know what's happening. So I'm going to take off the indicators. We have a consolidation here, start of the day. It hit the blueberry here. So now we consolidation. False move low is our stop point. Rise, pull back, rise, pull back, rise, reversal. And then the day ended. We're going to look for that on a day-to-day basis. Because this was so strong, it got choppy. Like this move was about to explode. All the indicators was lined up next to each other. So when that happens, it's got to figure out which direction it's going to go. And once it figures out the direction, it takes off for days. Once it's bouncing off like the blueberry, that 1 hour blueberry, and it figured it out, even on the 15-minute chart. Once it respects the blueberry and it's going to go the direction it needs to go, you should be able to hold that trade at least 3 days. When you see it on the hour chart, we talking about a whole week or two or something at least. So The higher the time frame, the stronger it gets. If this was a 4 hour blueberry, we can hold this thing for weeks, like just straight up. How you would hold it for 2 days, you can hold it for 2 weeks. And the higher the time frame, the longer you can hold it. So in between all that, once it finally figured out its direction, every day we're gonna see consolidation, stop hunt low, ketchup and mustard cross, and some let me double check that. Yeah, we see it cross. And then it's gonna be bouncing off the mustard and keep rising. And you're gonna look for that every day. It's smooth once it's in a trend and you know the trend. Consolidation, false moves low, which is the stop hunt, catch across the mustard, pullbacks that usually bounce off the mustard. It gets to the end of the day and it'll either reverse or go into consolidation. So on these days, we still got a consolidation here. We got our stop hunt low. Once it made that stop low, you could have got into your buys. Came and retested those lows and then went back for the buys. This was a consolidation day, but we could still recognize it. And if you don't trade it. After a while, it just becomes clear the pattern is still an uptrend. So we still shooting straight up off the pullbacks. You could just buy off the pullbacks. Every time it comes in and do pullbacks, you can buy up off of it. Consolidated, still shooting up. We got wicks to the low, to the pullback, which I can promise you those are bouncing off the mustard. They're bouncing off the water in this case. They pulling back, bouncing off the water. Catch it across the mustard here, bam. Every time they keep pulling back to the mustard, pushes right back off. And you're going to get that for 3 to 5 days. So every 3 to 5 days, you're looking for either a a pullback, you're like a midweek reversal, or a complete reversal like this, where it did it for 2.5 to 3 days. It gave you 2 days, and then it reset it at the Mayo, and then continued to push back up. And eventually, off of that Mayo, ended up following the trend again. We got pretty much a whole week of consolidation right here. It just kept zoning, it kept staying in the range. But if I go to this, I hope this don't. I wanted to change the time frame, but I got a feeling it's gonna reset. On the days you recognize it, you still stick with the 5 phases. Consolidation, stop punt, catch across mustard, sniper entry. Every time it pull back, you could buy. Consolidation, stop punt low, entry, pull back, buy up, reversal, back into consolidation. It's in between the period separators, your session breaks, in between the days, every time the day open and close. This one ain't recognizable, don't do it. Right here, it was clear. Consolidation, stop point low, catch across the mustard, pull back, buy, reversal, end of the day. I go in there and show that it's a consolidation, stop point low, catch across the mustard, pull back to the mustard. Once it's done, reverse back into consolidation. You should be able to see it without the moving averages, and then you just go right back to it. Consolidation, stop point low, entry, pull back, another entry in the day. Consolidation up in here, pull, stop point low. There's an entry there, second leg of the W. That's a W right there. It's real clear on that one. Got your entry in, reversal back for the end of the day. Consolidation up in here, stop point low, entry, pulled up all day, pulled back, another entry, reversal. End of the day, came and took that out. That's it. With this reversal right here being so deep and took that, the next day came and it was a different move. Consolidation, your stop hunt was high. Small M, I know the catch across the mustard right up in here, drop and pull back. That was your reversal at the end of the day. We put on the indicators and yeah, it's just like that. Consolidation, stop hunt up high. That was your M, catch up across the mustard, drop. TP was the water, end of the day. This is reversal. So as a newbie, you wouldn't trade this because your water's on the bottom. We're looking for buys. When you're reversing your TP, your water becomes the TP. So every time the water's on the bottom and we're trading with the trend, it's no problem. You'll recognize it. Even that little crazy catch across the mustard. The water was just going straight across. And that's another sign. If the indicators are moving just straight across left to right, it's consolidation. There wasn't no big consolidation like that. It only did it for one day. And then after that, it was curving again. But if it's flat, it's consolidation. So that's another consolidation, stop point low, stop entry up. Yeah, I just showed that one. Reversal and back into consolidation. And you just keep on going with it. I still see it. Consolidation, stop point low, entry, pull back, reversal, back into consolidation. It just keeps on doing consolidation, stop point low. That's like a W right there. I can promise you the catch up must have crossed right up in here. Consolidation, stop point low, W, entry, came in reverse end of the day. And it's just like that every time, bam. You just, yeah, that's it. This one right here looks like where the days played out, 5 phases. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, I think I went over this. Consolidation, stop point. These wicks to the bottom is your stop points. Wicks can be your stop point could be big, it can be one candle, it can be a whole session. It could be a whole 4 hours straight. It anything. Long as you recognize the false move has been done, little fake sales to the low that just wicked up. Those are holding the low of the day. Catch across the mustard buy, continuation off the mustard, came in reverse right here. Bam. You done. You don't need the rest of it. You recognize that 3 levels, or you reset, buy right back up. And now it's reversing, holding the zones, the highs, came in choppy, and now the trend are completely reversed. The bottom wore out, now it's selling. And it'll be the same thing over again. I could repeat this 100 different ways. Yeah, good. Glad you got it. I appreciate y'all. Um, yeah, I ain't gonna overdo it. We've been on here about 2 hours. If anybody got any person, how do we determine the entry points? Are you saying how do we know when to get in? Catch up crossing the mustard. Getting in when to catch up across the mustard. If you don't, because I'm gonna keep this at the beginner level until you start to recognize your other things, your candlestick Bible, recognizing reversals and railroads and morning stars and things like that, and even and all that other kind of stuff. Until you recognize that, your catch up and your mustard crossing is your final for sure confirmation you need to get into this trade. Kind of like here for y'all that do see it, this ain't completely it, but this is almost like a morning star. On the 4 hour chart, it was a railroad. So when you start to recognize reversal patterns, railroad, 2 candles back to back, it did a red candle and then came and did a green candle back to back, engulfing candles. That's a sign of reversal. For the people that caught that, they would as soon as this closed, they could have got in right here when this candle opened. You dealt with a little bit of pullback. Another thing, if you got the patience for that, it happens on every time frame. This is the 4 hour chart. But if there was a 15-minute chart and we see that, another thing you could have did, because this is what this did, is it pulled back 50% of this candle. If you're looking for another entry, that's the only other entry. Don't always do that, So if you take it as soon as these candles close, anticipate that it might pull back half of this candle. We're looking for the wicks to form and then for it to take off. So it did a pull back 50% of this candle, and then after that it took off. And to make it even better, after it did that, this ain't perfect, but this is another morning star right here. We got this candle, we got the doji in the middle, then this candle. Honestly, it's a good morning star. This candle is way bigger than this one. When they're even is when it looks perfect. But that right there was just even more confirmation after seeing a railroad like that, holding a mayo at the same time, recognizing the W. And then I guarantee if I put up my TDI, there's a W in it. Because if I can see that in the candlesticks, it's definitely in the TDI. So we go to the TDI. With everything I just showed, you'll be piecing this all together. Your naked chart, recognizing your five phases, your ketchup crossing the mustard, and your TDI. We got a W here. I hate how that does that. It be showing, let me get off of that part of the chart. So let me see if I can make this even. We got our first part of our W here. And once you start there's plenty of videos on the TDI. I got another one I need to put down from 2 weeks ago. I was saying that earlier, but this would be our over. So it bounced off of that. Came and did our first leg of our W. Our green crossed the red up right here. That happened after the railroad. So that's our first sign. And then it didn't cross again. What it came and did was bounce off on the second leg. And by the time that finished, we had our morning star off the blueberry. Now, if I go down to the hour chart to show the same thing, we would have had our ketchup and mustard cross off the blueberry. This was a railroad on the 4 hour. It was almost a good morning star on the 1 hour. We got our W here, green cross the red. That's what's always showing our second leg. That's the entry. And then it came in, and now we got it on top of the market baseline, and we got our W here. Green cross the red up. That's always all of the stuff on the TDI happens before the ketchup crossing the mustard. So when you see all of this happen already, our final confirmation is the ketchup crossing the mustard. If you don't find any other reason to get in the trade before the ketchup crosses the mustard, and that's for the advanced traders that know how to do that, the ketchup crossing the mustard is always going to be your last confirmation. So by the time that happens, you should see at least two other reasons to get into that trade. In this situation, bounced off the blueberry. W. TDI, there's a W. Green cross the red. Yeah, that shows our W. It would have been the other things that we noticed before that. The first leg already formed. I see a clear W. Let me see. On the it did it late, but the scanner gave up the buy after that. Because I don't see it on the 15-minute chart. Let me see if I can show this a little lower just to show it. Man, I can't believe I just passed that challenge. Yep. What else we got? TP hit. We got a TP to hit. Um, oh, I was looking for a lower time frame. I'm gonna do the 5 minute. I would have looked, yeah. This right here gonna make me want to go back to the 5 minute chart, but I'm probably not gonna do it. I'll drive myself crazy. I used to go down to the 5 minute. I used to look at the 1 minute, but for the minute, for a good little minute, I was using the 5 minute based off of breaking down my 15 minute chart. Now I just do the opposite. I've turned my 15 minute to my hour, and I'm looking for my entry in my 15, and I just stick with that because it gives me better confirmation. But if you're trying to get sniper closer entries, that's the same point where this gave off this buy. It kind of was like at the end of the day, and then that final one gave it off on the 5 minute because our water is actually on the bottom of it earlier on the lower time frame for the buy. So it give off a lot of 5 minute on lower is scalping time frame. So that's why I got like all these sales. I don't want to take those. I don't care about those. I'm looking for the direction it's gonna go for most of the day when I trade. If you scalping, that was cool. You could have took those and you in there 3, 4 candles or something, you getting in and out. Just to show it, I'm go down to the minute because I know some of you that are new on here trade on that. But you hit that 75. That's the minute. Yeah, see, that's way too. I can't look at that. I'm gonna drive myself crazy. I'm gonna check the chat in a minute. Let me see what's going on. Uh, what time? It's 11:42. We got a new 15 minute candle from the forum in 3 more minutes. It's hit that 75. I don't know. It could keep shooting up, but it's definitely gonna give some wicking and all of that once now that it's hit it. Um 30 minute. Yeah, it's at the 75%. So that's exactly how that go. And that blueberry to close above the blueberry on the 15-minute chart. Before noon come, I want to see if you give one more push up. Uh, yeah, yeah, I already know. Joey be on that 1 minute, 5 minute. How can I get those numbers on the side like yours? You talking about the TPs? You talking about these, right? This is the average daily range. This is the indicator. That's what I use for my targets. They came and hit the 50% one and put the stop loss right there. And yeah, these were the TPs. Let me go ahead and what I do with this. Yeah, let me take that. That's good to know though. This one to change the game. But that FTMO putting gold on there. They snuck that in there. If you holding it, you put your stop loss and profit. What I'm looking for on this, because it did 3 levels today. They did the 3 I was looking for. There's no telling how big or long that's gonna last. It broke out the second level. That's all it takes. From there, it can get real choppy and shoot up some more and wick off the top some more and start to pull back, or it can just keep on rising. Um, but it was a clear level 1, pull back level 2, consolidation, and did the 3. That was my goal for the day. We're gonna see how this thing reset for the remainder of the week and see if we can just keep buying or selling. However, the rest of the day plays out, will let me know. Um, and also to answer y'all question on how to get out, you need a PIP goal. No, not a dollar goal. I've been telling people that PIPs let you know what you can get out the market. The dollar amount could be anything. Don't go for a dollar amount, go for a PIP goal. Once you recognize how long you stay in your trades, that's what's going to let you know how to set your stop loss and how to set your target. You don't necessarily have to do it like this. Because I like to hold my trades, this actually worked for me. But on a lower time frame, you need to know, do I go for 100 pips? Do I go for 50? That's something you're going to have to figure out based on your trading style, how long you like to hold your trades. So until you figure that out, I know I'm telling y'all to stay in your demo until you get your move, get your groove, your swing of it. And then you start to recognize I usually hold my pips, my trades for this long. Um, it's gonna be in your trade history. So after a while, I can even look at that with you and figure it out. Like, okay, you hold your trades an average of 100 pips, whatever it is, and that's gonna be how you get out. Your entry gonna be the same way. You're gonna get your entry cool, but then you're gonna start setting your targets for 50 pips, 200 pips, 500 pips, whatever it is for you, and that's when you getting out. At the same time, because the way I manage my trades, those could just be targets, and you not necessarily getting out until the trade just done running, because then you're going to start to do things like putting your stop loss and profit or turning on a trailing stop, depending on what platform you on, or if you could do that on your desktop for MetaTrader if that's what you're doing, or on Trade Locker, you can just do it straight from the phone. However you doing it, but at first you got to come up with an average amount of pips you usually catch, and that's going to be the baseline for your target, your TP, and you'll be getting out when that hits. that's gonna start you off turning you into a day trader. Every day, mine was 50 pips at one point. Gold moved way too much now for me to just be doing some 50 pips, but 50 pips. I knew no matter what the market was doing on the day it consolidate, I can go get me 50 pips up out of it. So that's something you got to learn on your own as a trader. And then from there, you can start to figure out what you're going for.